of this like top down on the left, and I'm not trying to just like.
The conversation kicks off with a strong critique of top-down elitism in politics, especially from the left. The speaker expresses frustration with how politicians talk down to people, creating a disconnect between leaders and the general public. This sets up the core argument: the need for genuine connection with everyday citizens rather than pretentious Ivy League-style discourse.
Bag on the left. I don't care really about that. Like, I don't even care about the politics. I care more about like where the cultural liquidity is. It's like, you can't talk down to people. There's this like Ivy League pretentiousness in the Democratic Party, I feel, where they're like, we know better, and just you must be stupid if you don't agree with us. And it's like, all right, well, I'm stupid. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I'm dumb then. So why doesn't somebody meet me where I'm stupid and start at least making me feel like I'm not an asshole for the way that I...
The idea that politicians assume voters are stupid is emphasized. The speaker argues that rather than dismissing different viewpoints, political leaders should meet people where they are and engage in real conversations. The takeaway here is a call for authenticity in political communication, making it a class issue rather than a partisan one.
You know, for my, I guess you could say, political leanings now. Yeah, I feel like they need to meet. And it's a very simple thing. Make it a class issue, and I think they win. And say what you want about America, but I think it's better if we have two people running for president that we're stoked about, and it's a really hard decision.
Oh, yeah. That would be wonderful. Yeah, that's not what we had. We had one group of people that legitimately wanted to change things, and then we're going to see what happens if they do. But you're seeing weird stuff today that you never see before,
like
which
what?
is like a real adjustment to the age of the internet.
A wishful sentiment is expressed. Wouldn't it be great if we had two candidates that people were genuinely excited about? Instead, the elections often feel like a choice between the lesser of two evils. The discussion highlights how voters feel trapped in a system that lacks inspiring leadership, making elections about avoiding the worst option rather than choosing the best.
One of the things you're seeing is, I don't know if you saw the 22 different Congress people who were all saying the exact same line with the word shit in it.
What was the line?
So it's like, it's this speech. They're reading it verbatim.
Yeah.
They're all reading it and doing it to a microphone as if it's a rant. But they're all doing from the same script, and the shit ain't right.
So this is
the shit ain't right is the beginning of it. When in the history of the United States
has a politician
said shit?
Yeah.
And not just one, but 22 of them in tape record. Can you pull it up just so we can see it? Because it's so nuts.
This is think
when
tank
you see them all
politics.
together, it's just like they have it on screens as tiles, and they're all
Fascinating and somewhat humorous moment unfolds with a discussion about how 22 different politicians were caught using the exact same scripted phrase, "ain't right." The point being made is that this attempt at relatability is forced and inauthentic, making politicians seem like actors reading from a script rather than leaders with real convictions. The clip breakdown emphasizes how staged these political performances feel.
all saying the same words. They all have their own little flair they put on it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Put your headphones on. This is fucking bananas.
Terrible. It's hard to listen.
It's okay. You won't be able. You can't really tell. It's like a crowd. But when they had three of them, when it was the first three, was like it was Chuck Schumer and someone else.
Yeah.
They're saying the exact. Oh, Elizabeth Warren and someone else.
Yeah.
They're saying the exact same words.
Yeah.
In the exact same subjects in the exact same order. You guys are all reading off a script, and you're trying by putting the word shit in there to be authentic.
Well,
Shit ain't right.
to be specifically authentic. They're like, we
Yeah.
need to speak to working class
kids.
people, to the kids.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like bigoted in a weird way where like,
The speakers point out how political think tanks likely see working class voters as an audience that needs to be manipulated. The problem is not just in the messaging, but in the failure to provide real solutions. The idea of a MAGA Democrat is floated. Someone who, like Trump on the right, could shake things up on the left and speak to working class concerns in a genuine way.
It feels like they're almost in a think tank like, hey, listen, these poor dummies, they like it when you curse.
Yeah.
So if you use a few curse words in your speech, they're going to really relate to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we actually need somebody disruptive. We need somebody on the left that might speak like that, but authentically speaks like that, and is willing to disrupt even what's happening on the left. Because if you look at like what happened with the Trump and the movement, like he disrupted the right. The right looks very different now than it did 5-10 years ago, right?
Definitely.
So I want like
a MAGA Democrat.
Yeah, like for real. Like and what is that? Like what do we at our baseline want, right? We like abundance. Tell me how great America is going to be in your version of it.
You want a Bill Clinton.
Talk that shit. Like come out talking shit. Bernie was talking shit, and I want you to come out, and if Trump can say we're going to take Greenland, there can be some Dem that goes $1 eggs and straight up says we're going to subsidize it.
How would you do that? You subsidize it?
Subsidize corn, you subsidize dairy, you subsidize everything. Like, why can we not subsidize it?
There's a strong argument. Here, if politicians want to connect with the public, they need to make bold, tangible promises. The example given is subsidizing eggs to bring prices down to $1, an idea that, while unlikely, would at least demonstrate a direct benefit to citizens. This contrasts with vague political promises that never materialize into meaningful action.
But say something that's actually going to impact people. Now, Trump's not going to take Greenland, so maybe you don't get the $1 eggs, but you get this messaging across that you're actually trying to help people, and you're going to have to deal with those lobbies that are bankrolling you, and that might piss them the fuck off. But that's the disruption we need for us to trust you.
You know what they really should do?
What's that?
They really should have a strategic plan. If we're spending $350 billion went to Ukraine. What was the number? What are they saying it was? I don't know what the number is. Some insane. Let's just be conservative and say 200 billion. Imagine if we spent 200 billion dollars in the United States in all of the crime-ridden cities of the country, just completely overhauling them.
All right. So here's my concern about that: is how much did they spend in California on homelessness?
24 billion.
And then like nothing changed, right?
No, they got worse.
Oh,
they did a good job.
Oh, awesome.
They did a good
so
job.
maybe we could spend 36 billion. You know, like so. There's also this idea that like the current administration in these places, even with an abundance of money, is not going to make change. So you need somebody from inside, from the left, to go, hey,